Welcome back everyone. Today I'm going to show you some lower back stretches to give you some pain relief in the lower back. It's also going to improve your posture and also prevent you from any degenerative change, for example arthritis. These stretches definitely still apply to you if you're still working and you're bending over and you're lifting a lot with your lower back. These stretches will definitely improve your posture and also prevent you from any degenerative change due to lifting and stress and strain in this area as well. This video is designed in a way where the easiest stretches are at the start of the video and it progresses on to have more difficult stretches at the end of the video. So if you're in a great deal of pain, I highly recommend that you start at the start of the video, pick 1 or 2 stretches and do them for 1 or 2 weeks and slowly progress down the video and pick 1 or 2 stretches again where the stretches are still challenging and manageable to do, and then slowly progress on to the harder stretches at the end of the video. I hope these stretches help you as much as they help me and my patients.
Lower back decompressions. Place a pillow on the floor and lay your stomach over it. The pillow is going to press on your pelvis to your stomach. Relax your whole body and take deep and long breaths for 1 to 3 minutes. And do this 3 to 4 times. This will stretch your lower back muscles and decompress your lower back and open and close the spaces between your vertebrae, which are your intervertebral discs. If you don't feel this stretch working, you can also use an extra pillow. Here, I'm using a Dutchman's roll, also known as a bolster in some countries. I'll leave a link in the description box below on where to get one. This will increase the angle of flexion of your hip and your lower back, and will increase the stretch between your lower body and your upper body as they pull apart from each other, and therefore reducing the pressure on your lower back. Wall stretch. Place a folded towel or a rolled up towel against the wall. Then shuffle as close as possible to the wall so the towel is right behind your back and your bum is touching the wall. Now roll yourself onto your back using your feet to walk up the wall and your hands assisting you to roll up onto your back. Start off by having your legs close together and straight up against the wall. The towel underneath your hip bone and your tailbone will assist your pelvis to rotate into a posterior tilt, and it will allow decompression in your lumbar spine. Try to maintain this position as you take controlled deep long breaths whilst you're activating your core. To activate your core more effectively, try to press your lower back into the towel whilst you're breathing. Do this for 1 to 3 minutes, 3 to 4 times. Have a break between the sets and just relax. If you find having your feet straight is too hard for you or too painful, or your belly is too big or you're pregnant, you can still do this technique but just have your legs bent and your knees pointed outwards, creating space for your stomach. It will be easier for you to pull your knees in towards your body and hold this position better. Once you are done with this stretch, just roll onto your side and get out of this position. Knees to your chest. Lay on the ground and bring your knees towards your chest in a relaxed and controlled manner. Try not to pull the knees in so much that it's affecting your breathing. Just pull them to a point where you can still breathe comfortably. Hold this position for about 8 to 10 long breaths and repeat it 3 to 4 times. Whilst you are holding this position, I want you to try to focus flattening your back onto the ground and try to press your back towards the ground as if you're trying to squash an imaginary tomato between your lower back and the ground. If your hip joints are not allowing you to pull your knees in towards yourself, or your belly is too big, or you're pregnant, you can open your legs out slightly and then pull your knees towards your chest. This will create some space for your abdomen and allow you to take deeper and longer breaths. This exercise will decompress your spine, stretch your lower back, and your posterior thigh muscles, such as your hamstrings and your glutes. Child pose, also known as a prayer pose. First go onto your hands and your knees and slowly lean your body back. Whilst you are pushing your bum back towards your feet, allow your hands to stretch out in front of you, locking your elbows out and making your arms straight. This slightly stretches your lower back muscles and your shoulder joints. This stretch has helped me gain the ability to be in a better position for my overhead squats in Olympic weightlifting, and also handstands as well, and reduce back pain and stiffness. Take 8 to 10 deep long breaths in this position whilst allowing your body to relax and almost sink into the ground. Alternatively, you can hold this position for 1 to 2 minutes and repeat the exercise 4 to 5 times. If you spend a lot of time standing and bending over and lifting, this exercise will help decompress your lower back and give you relief from stiffness and lower back pain, especially at the lumbar sacral junction, where your lower back meets your tailbone. As you probably can tell, most of the exercises and stretches in this video are derived from Pilates and yoga exercises. In 2011, an article was published in the National Institutes of Health reporting that weekly classes of yoga or intensive stretching are equally effective at reducing lower back pain and improving back movement. Both prove better than if a patient were to follow a self-care book. Their benefits lasted several months after the yoga and stretching classes that ended. So please, if you're gonna get benefit from these exercises and stretches, I highly recommend that you keep on doing them on an ongoing basis. CatCows. With this exercise, please go on all fours in a tabletop position. Press your hands and feet against the floor, and as you inhale, look up, allowing your belly to fill up with air. Then exhale, tucking your chin into your chest and arching your spine towards the ceiling. Continue this pattern of movement, moving with each breath. Do this for 1 to 2 minutes, 3 to 4 times. The cat-cow stretch is a great way to wake up your spine while also stretching your shoulders, neck, and chest. It mobilizes and creates movement in your spine, especially the lumbar spine, by flexing and extending the lumbar spine. This will open and close the front and back of the spine, promoting movement and nutrients exchange into the disc between the spine, which is very important to reduce stiffness and pain. Pelvic tilts. Lie on your back with both knees bent and feet flat on the floor. Don't leave an arch on your lower back. Rotate your pelvis back. You can place your hands underneath your lower back to make sure you're engaging your core muscles and pressing your lower back into the floor. You will feel the pressure when you press against your hand. This will engage your core muscles. Tilt back and forth in a slow and controlled manner, holding each repetition for 1 to 2 seconds. Do 10 repetitions, 3 to 4 sets. When you press your back against the floor, this will train and strengthen the core muscles, but also trains your lower back to switch the lower back muscles off to flatten and decompress the lumbar spine, which will reduce spasming in the lower back. Pelvic tilts build strength in your abdominal muscles, which helps relieve pain and stiffness in your lower back. They also have beneficial effect on your glutes and hamstrings, which combats against distal cross syndrome. Knee to chest. One knee bent and the other one extended and straight out along the floor. Draw your right knee into your chest by grabbing your knee at the top of your shin bone. Bring the knee to the shoulder on the same side and lengthen your spine all the way down to your tailbone and avoid lifting your hips. Breathe deeply, releasing any tension, and hold this pose for 1 to 3 minutes. Repeat on each side 3 to 4 times. It's such a great way to stretch and decompress your lower back and reduce the spasming that could be happening in your lumbar spine. Some of my patients do this stretch just to help them get out of bed in the morning. This stretch relaxes your hips, your thighs, and your glutes while promoting overall relaxation. Parry Form stretch. Grab your knee on the side you would like to stretch and pull it over to the opposite shoulder onto the other side. This will stretch the hip and lower back muscles on an angle. Similar to the previous stretch, just hold this position for 1 to 3 minutes and alternate both sides 3 to 4 times. The piriformis muscle is located in the hip under the gluteus maximus muscle in your buttock. The sciatic nerve runs through this muscle. If this muscle gets tight or spasms, there may be pain that refers from the hip down the leg. This is also called piriformis syndrome, which replicates sciatica. This is still a great stretch because it will promote movement on an angle for your lower back and possibly reducing the spasming in your hip muscles and your lower back. Back rocks. Grab your knees and pull your knees towards your chest and allow the momentum to roll you back up to your mid-back, back and forth. By rocking back and forth, the weight of your body will mobilize your spine and decompress your spine in a flexed position for your lower back. Do about 20 to 30 back rocks, have a break for about a minute, and then repeat the exercise 3 to 4 times. I will classify this more of an exercise than a stretch, as it works on your core as well. This was a warm-up exercise I was taught in gymnastics when I was growing up. I still do this exercise as a warm-up, and I find great relief by doing back rocks after a long day of standing on hard floors or heavy lifting. It reduces a lot of stiffness and gives me a lot of pain relief, and I still prescribe this exercise to my patients. Hip drop. With your hand, grab your knee on the opposite side and pull it over to the same side of your hand, and in a relaxed manner, allow your other arm to be outstretched towards the other direction. This will act as a counterbalance to promote your upper back to be against the ground, and in turn, it will stretch your lower back and your hip muscles on an angle. You may hear some pops and cracks in the lower back as it loosens up and your joints start moving. However, please do not force these pops and cracks, as you may hurt yourself or create hypermobility and your muscles may spasm even more. Hold this stretch for 10 deep long breaths or 30 seconds on each side, 4 to 5 times. If you would like to increase the intensity of this stretch, just extend your leg out, and this will create more torque onto the body, which increases the stretch. By breathing in a relaxed manner, your body will relax more and create a better stretch. This is one of my favorite stretches to do after a long run or heavy lifting. I noticed my patients gained a lot of pain relief and were able to resume their daily activities by doing this stretch on a daily basis. Trunk rotations. Lie on your back and bring your knees towards your chest, so your body is positioned as if you're sitting in a chair. Fully extend your arms out to the sides with your palms face down to the floor. Your arms will act as a counterbalance to allow you to rotate better. Keep your knees together and your hands on the floor, and gently roll both knees to the side and hold this position for 1 to 2 seconds, and then roll your knees to the other side and repeat this for 5 to 10 times on each side. Do this 3 to 4 times. Trunk rotation is more like a mobilization technique than a stretch, and to me it's a modification of Mulligan's technique, which is known to help a lot of people with sciatica and back pain. It will stretch the lower back and create more space between the vertebrae in your spine, also known as the intervertebral discs. Sphinx and Cobra pose. Have your forearms flat against the ground, and then slowly and in a controlled manner, push your upper body upright so that your chest is nice and straight, whilst allowing your hips to sink towards the floor. This will stimulate the back muscles to activate, but also promote lumbar lordosis, which is a natural curve you have in the lower back to support the body. Hold this position for about 30 seconds to a minute, or take 10 deep long breaths. Do this 3 to 4 times, with a minute rest in between your sets. I usually get my patients to do the child pose shown early in this video between each set of a Sphinx pose or the Cobra pose. This will help them give a bit of relief between each set, as the Sphinx pose and the Cobra pose may cause you to feel some discomfort. However, slight discomfort is safe and it will slowly subside as you do more and more. If the Sphinx pose is too easy for you, you can try to do the Cobra pose. This is also known as McKenzies Technique. Just bring your hands close to your body and push all the way up so your elbows are locked out. This will create a large arch in your lower back and stretch your abdominals. Remember to breathe in a comfortable and controlled manner each time you take a deep long breath. Doing these stretches will allow you to open up the disc space in the anterior part of your lumbar spine, whilst working on your lumbar lordosis in your lower spine. The loss of lumbar curve is usually caused by excessive slouching in a sitting position. This is also known as flattening of the lumbar spine or the lower back. When this happens, the lumbar and sacral junction will have a lot of stress and strain in this area. This will not only increase pain and stiffness in this area, but also increase the chances of you developing arthritis or getting disc bulges that can develop into sciatica.
Once again, thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, I highly recommend you check out my sciatica exercise video. That video will definitely help you if you're experiencing pain that's coming from the lower back down to your lower legs. Now, if you did all the stretches in this video from easy to difficult, I want you to progress on to do my best pain relief exercise video. That video will definitely make you stronger and also prevent you from injuries in the future at the same time, and also prevent you from your lower back pain. I want you to follow and join my VIP Facebook group. I want to build a community there, that way we can help each other out. If you want to support me more, please join my Patreon. I'm going to be uploading more exclusive content there as well. Remember to support my channel, hit subscribe, hit like, comment below if you have any questions, and I'll see you guys in the next one.